You might want to stick around for this one because a lot of you have asked for this review. This one is the Cere and Kestis Lightsabers and Staff. Let's get at it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Collector's Outpost. I am John. This is the Jedi Fallen Order Kestis Cere Staff, also separate lightsabers. So you can have them on display as two complete separate lightsabers, which is completely awesome. And then you can also connect them and have a full staff, just like it was in the video game. So this thing is incredible, and this is jam-packed with stuff since it's two lightsabers. So thank you so much to Artsabers for sending this over for everybody to take a look at. This thing is incredible. Cal actually has one of my favorite lightsabers. I probably have maybe, everybody asks me this all the time, is what's my favorite lightsaber? I don't have a single favorite lightsaber. I have a handful of favorite lightsabers that if I was to only have a few, they would probably be Kenobi Episode 4, absolutely love that one. The Graflex, Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, which was probably my first favorite lightsaber as a kid because I think that was the first one I actually saw in the movies with my dad. And I remember just bits and pieces of that movie at the theater. We actually lived across the street from the theater, but I remember it so well on film. I used to watch that on film on a wall. We had a projector and everything, which I still have the projector inside. Kestis had the next one that stood out for me. So since that video game came out, I was playing Jedi Fallen Order, I'm like, oh my God, look at this lightsaber with these shrouds coming off. It was just completely badass looking. So I've been attached to this saber ever since. So before we dig into this, again, thank you to Artsabers for sending this over, and I will put a discount code and a direct link down in the description below. But before we get to it, if you're new here, please drop down, hit that like, subscribe, and notification button for upcoming videos. I have a ton of lightsabers coming up and some 6 scale figures coming. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for hanging out, and let's get into this unboxing. So this combo pack here, which we're gonna take a look at, is jam-packed with stuff inside. You can actually use this in a couple of different configurations because you can display them as two different sabers and you can display it as a staff. So that's really awesome. So let's get into here. As you can see, is this all the way wide? Yeah, I guess that's as wide as that goes. It is jam-packed with stuff. Again, it is two full lightsaber setups that you can connect with a coupler. So let's just start with here. I'll just start pulling things out. We've got 2 sets of the white gloves. Now, this is the Profi version, so here's a full manual for you. And we have a couple of these kind of turbine bullet blade plugs here, which are actually pretty cool. I don't mind these. I don't like those long turbine ones. These are actually not that bad. 2 sets of USB-C chargers with Allen wrenches, and it looks like we have some extra retention screws in there as well. Now, there are 2 sets here because I believe Cere has slightly different... Cere has... I'm surprised my watch didn't go off. Cere has slightly larger retention screws and Cal has slightly smaller retention screws. So keep that in mind, there are 2 different packs here. This is a leather strap. However, I do not think I'm gonna put this on because I do have really nice brown leather wraps on the way. So I think I'm gonna wrap it with a real leather wrap rather than this. And if you want to display them as 2 separate lightsabers, we do have 2 sets of stands right here. And in here we have a little inlay, and we do have 2 plaques that come along with it. One says Kestis Cere, and the other one says Fallen Order. And then in the front there, you can actually drop the plaque right in there. There's a little space for it. Or what I do, there is a kind of like beveled edge here, a little bit of an angle. There is adhesive on the back here. I usually just put them right on there so that when you're standing it up, you have a nice plaque kind of angled. I love this, and I pretty much display anything like that I can. And then we have 2, I think these are 32-inch blades. And what I'm gonna do for the rest, I'm gonna take out the lightsabers, and there's a couple pieces here, put them on the desk here so we can take a look at it. All right, here's what we have. We've got Kestis over here. This is the Fallen Order one with the broken piece at the bottom, and we have Cere over here. And this is actually supposed to be wrapped up here, over here, and over here. So I think I'm gonna wind up doing that, and then this needs some good weathering, so I think I'll wind up weathering that. I don't know when I'm gonna do that, but I will get to that eventually. But we also have a coupling here, and I'm kind of on the fence about this because this actually connects both of the lightsabers to turn it into a staff, but it's not the right version of the connector. So it's not a huge deal, but if you're looking for screen accuracy, this isn't it. And then it comes with the piece. Now, what you're gonna do is screw this into the bottom of this saber. Yours might come with it already screwed in, but this one came in pieces. I think just to save space, because this actually makes the saber a little bit longer. But I gotta tell you, that's probably the best version of the ends of this lightsaber that I have seen so far. So if you do want to display this like this, I mean, that's going to be great. So there's your single lightsaber, and here's your second lightsaber. So here is a great display piece just right there. If you get those kind of stacked lightsaber stands, you could pop these both on like that and it'll look great. You can add some weathering to both of them and it will be fantastic. Now, out of this whole combo pack, there's only that one small issue with the coupling, because this should be the coupling. You can see the silver ring right here, and that's where both of those staffs really kind of should connect. But for some reason, what the manufacturer did was give us a Kestis lightsaber connector with the grips, and in here you can actually see there's some sound vents right there. Either way, let me show you how this looks connected. There's actually a smaller side and a longer side, and you can see with the chassis here, Cere has the smaller one and Kestis has the longer one. So you just have to make sure that you put the coupling on the right end. And there we go. We have our full staff put together with the coupling there. I can't swing anything. I got the camera right here. But we have the sound vents right here, which you can see the lights kind of shining through. Now, here's the thing. We have the sound coming out of here, so your hand's going to be on it, but you could still hear it very nicely. You see my hand's over those little vents there. They can hear it just fine. And it's awesome that when you twist it, both sides go on. Now, if you're anything like me who only turns on a lightsaber once in a blue moon, and you want this to pretty much be on display most of the time, because let's face it, this is a beautiful display piece, especially if you're gonna weather it up and wrap the other piece and everything. The cool thing about that, again, if it's mostly gonna be on display, you can pull off the coupler here, and these chassis are fully removable. And you could pop this on here, and there you have it. You have the real accurate, screen accurate display piece with the proper handle, and all you gotta do is go in there and wrap this with some nice brown leather. All right, there you go. So that is just a tiny idea of what that would look like with a nice brown wrap, and there's supposed to be another piece up over here. So again, I do have a couple of really nice chocolatey brown real leather wraps on the way. So I can't wait to see what this looks like fully wrapped. Now, his saber is actually wrapped slightly different. It's interesting. I have to figure out how to do that. I've seen obviously tons of pictures. Disney has their hilt out with that wrap on it, which I believe is made out of plastic. And I've seen a lot of customizers do that. You know, it just needs a little bit of customizing to bring it up to the next level, to look a lot more dirtier and a lot more kind of screen accurate to the video game. And that's just a little bit of, you know, work on the side. I mean, I could do it all myself, or I can just kind of send it out to my buddies and have them do it and have fun. Oh, you know what would have been really awesome? So this whole thing does come apart in pieces. This is its own piece, you know, the cup link there is its own thing, and this is its own thing. If this was a quick release, that would be really cool. This is gonna be a hard one because, you know, the staff problem in this room it's unbelievable. This thing is like 6.5. I mean, really? It's the whole length of my hand stretched out completely. I'm 5'10", and my arm all the way up is the top of this. It's not even fitting on that screen. And problem number 2, Maui's on the floor, and if I hit him, he's gonna be very angry. he does not like to get booped by lightsabers. So I gotta be really careful. All right, here it is. We've got the full staff put together, and I really love the fact that you just twist it and everything goes on together. Let's try this again. This poor fan. All right, let's try this again. I'm gonna try to stay very still. We have flash on clash. Obviously we have just the controls on, and I love the fact that you just give a twist and both sides go on. Now, if you do have your hand in the middle, it does block a little bit of the sound, but it actually still sounds really good. Got a beautiful flickery blade. We've got flash on clash. We've got all our typical lockups. Got our blaster sounds. That looks great as a staff. Oh man. I'll do that again. So cool. So this is a 2-button setup for Profi. We've got the auxiliary here and the power there. And same thing on Cere, we've got the power and we've got this little nubbin for auxiliary over there. Now, of course, you can swap out the colors for your sound font. So you're just gonna hold auxiliary and then hit power. So auxiliary, power, you'll hear the beep and then you just give a twist. You can see they're just kind of changing different colors now because I'm actually going in different directions. So you're gonna have to do kind of like one at a time, but that's actually pretty cool. Look at that. And all I'm doing is just twisting the saber. Now, because this is a staff and it is connected in the middle, when I'm twisting, one is going clockwise and the other one's technically now going counterclockwise to how they're programmed. So you're gonna have to kind of program them separately, unless you're cool with these colors, which is actually kind of fun. I like that. So what you're gonna have to do is set the colors one by one. So just turn that on. Let's go back to blue. So auxiliary power, go to like that cyan kind of blue power, and then turn that off and go to the other side and do the same thing. Auxiliary power, and then swap to that kind of cyan blue, and then looks about good. Power. So keep in mind, these are completely two different lightsabers, so you can run them completely separate from each other. So you could do pretty much whatever you want. You know, as far as colors and fonts and whatever, and you have two complete lightsabers. Adjusting the volume is very simple. You're gonna hold the auxiliary for about a second. All right, you'll hear that sound. Now you're in volume mode, so it's gonna be volume up and volume down. So we should be all the way at the top. So all the way down would be the auxiliary. When you hit the bottom, you will hear a different beep, and the same thing for the top. When you hit the top, you'll hear a different beep. All right, to get out of the mode, you just hold the auxiliary again. All right, my friends, that is a look at the Kestis Cere lightsaber staff. I hope you like that. This was sent over from Artsabers. I'll put a direct link and a discount code for you down in the description below. And while you're down there, hit that like button, subscribe, and notification button for upcoming videos. And I will see you all on the next video. Be safe and kind out there in the world. See ya.